a just, peaceful situation there as much as possible, no? Because kawawa naman din yung mga kababayan natin na ipit. I mean, can you imagine kababayan natin na, I mean, kasi the other day, di ba, na-interview rin ako sa news just before me, yung mga OFW sa Israel lang na-interview. And I mean, like, these are people working, like next to the border with Gaza, or there are also some Philippines, I think, who are married to Palestinians. So, yun nga, like, I just hope that people try to appreciate the humanity of everyone here, regardless of creed and religion and
Kaya
all.
nga,
Na
kaya
disappointed
nga nakakagalit.
trying to jump into one's camp or the other automatically.
Kaya nga nakakagalit, Richard, listening to ex-President Duterte, no?
Yeah.
Urging the Israeli Prime Minister, no, to destroy Gaza, no, to destroy all the people there. Lalong-lalo na nangyari yung peace process during his watch. Sana man lang ay nag-input siya na, oh, this is how we did it, no? No, to some extent it's not yet finished, but we have relative success. No, sana man lang ganun yung kanyang pero perhaps I'm expecting too much from a psychopath.
Yun nga, I mean, I was not expecting for Digong to say that, because I historically know Digong when it goes at least to one issue, which is relations in Mindanao with our Muslim brothers and sisters, Bangsamoro. He was always a little bit more progressive than people would give credit to him, and I felt his push for the Bangsamoro peace process and all of that was his finest hour. So I was a bit surprised by that, but then again, I mean, I also understand a lot of backstory to this, and also the ideological alignments with the his pals on the other side of this. Now, let's transition to the Philippines, because you can see na kasi sobrang, it's gonna be a day-long conversation, and I think there's no
perhaps a week long.
A millennia long, right? So I rather write about but in the proper context. And the thing is, Ronald, is emotions are high. People just died. Children just died. Children are still dying right now here and there. So when emotions are so high, I rather just shut up about debates, right? Parang let's just try to preserve our humanity and pray for humanity. Yun na lang position ko for now. We can have the debate later on, but now is not the time for that. So all I'm doing right now is just calling out people who are celebrating violence against civilians, regardless of what side. No, now the thing is, Duterte is speaking out again. Medyo tumahimik siya for a while after yung whole China, the disaster niya, fiasco niya, all of yung mga nag-Karen siya, Karen diplomacy, it didn't work. But now he's talking again, and he's not only talking about what's happening, of course, abroad. He's also talking about the confidential fund issue, right? Trying to say, oh no, this is for artists. What's going on? Is this the daddy coming to like that, trying to help daughter? Is this about him defending his own ROTC bara militaristic ideology? Is he saying that ito si Bato at Robin Hood, hindi naman magaling mag-debate yan, ako na lang bahala I mean, what's going on here, Ronald? Let's transition to the Philippines. I think mas kaya natin yan at this point, yeah.
Well, it's understandable dahil masyadong negative na itong issue ng confidential at saka intelligence fund, no, for the Vice President and the Secretary of Education. At lalo na napaka-positive nung option na ilagay ito sa mga frontliners natin sa West Philippine Sea, no? Galit na galit nga si Harry Roque dahil ang sinasabi nila Speaker Martin Romualdez, we are on the right side of history, no? Nako, nagwawala si Harry Roque, no? Kaya makikita mo na medyo nahihirapan si Vice President Sara Duterte sa pag-handle nito. Kaya nga nakita natin last week ay parang tumakbo siya sa kanyang tatay na hindi naman maganda yung relasyon nila for years, di ba? Pero kung ito political survival, lalo na with the last survey, no? Dahil hindi lang naman dahil bumaba si President Marcos by 15%. Mas maliit yung binaba ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Pero hindi siya dapat bumaba Dahil usually pag may problema ang bansa, ang tama sa presidente. Dahil alam naman natin na yung Vice President is just a spare tire in our political system, no? At nung lumabas yung survey na yan, nung ginawa yan, ay hindi pa pumuputok yung intelligence at saka confidential fund issue ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Pero tinamaan na rin siya significantly, 11%. So ang nakikita natin dito ay kahit hindi pa ito yung talagang full-blown intelligence at saka confidential fund, ay may lamat na sa kanya. Pero mas mahalaga, ang nakita rito ay hindi siya katulad ng kanyang tatay. Hindi siya Teflon. So, yung tatay, kailangan niyang ipahiram. At least subuking ipahiram yung kanyang pagiging Teflon. Hoping na sana ito ay mag-grab on sa kanyang daughter. No? Pero for now, nung kahapon, nagdinipensahan ni former spokesperson Panelo, si Sara Duterte sa Politiscoop. No? Tapos ngayon, dinipensahan ni spokesperson Harry Roque, si Sara Duterte, kasabay ng ginawa ng kanyang tatay. Ako, watching those three, tingin ko, if you have defenders and friends like this, you no longer need enemies. No? Imaginein mo yung sinabi ni Sal Panelo, no? Sabi niya, anong mali na ginastos ang 125 million in 11 days? Dapat nga yan ginastos in 1 day. No? Bakit nakikialam ang Department of Budget at saka Congress dito sa intelligence at saka confidential fund? Dapat yan inaprubahan na kagad. No? Bakit dapat para masolusyonan na yung problema na yan, dapat mag-revolutionary government na lang. Yan ang sabi ni Panelo. Tapos kanina naman, sabi ni Harry Roque, no? Sabi niya ay this congressmen are all hypocrites. They have lost their souls. No? Ganun siya, no? Nanginginig, nanggagalaite, no? Napaka self-righteous, no? Siguro kung ikaw yan, Christian, attacking Congress, baka mas credible, no? Pero kung
dalawang Christian ka na sa akin, malapit ka na mababa.
Talagang may Alzheimer's na ako. May Alzheimer's na ako. Sorry.
Matutuwa naman, Christian.
Kung ikaw, Richard, yung magsasabi niyan, no? May certain level ng credibility. Sabi ko certain level, hindi full credibility. Pero kung ang magsasabi niyan, ipokrita rin, no? Yung binabanatan niya mga ipokrito, walang epekto, no? Lalo na sabi niya kanina, gusto niyo bang i-expose ko yung mga kabulukan niyo diyan? Gusto niyo bang ilabas ko, no? Yung mga nangyayari diyan. Ibig sabihin, when he was a congressman, nakita niya itong mga gawi ng mga kongresista. Pero bakit wala siyang sinabi? Kung nakita niya yung corruption sa Kongreso, bakit hindi niya in-expose? No? Hanggang ngayon, no? Hindi ba culpable din siya? No? Or sana naman hindi. Baka involved din siya. Katulad ng kanyang mga binabanatan. Kaya ang sinasabi ko, mahirap maging self-righteous . Lalo na kung meron kang muta, meron kang, ano man tawag sa muta sa English? Meron kang muta sa mata mo. No? Huwag ka masyadong banat ng banat. No? Lalo na, before, nung 2016, during the campaign, binabanata mo si Digong as a murderer, as a killer, na dapat hindi iboto. No? Ang dami mong video, sinasabi mo yan. And then, ikaw yung defender ng killer. No? Before tayo sumama sa ICC, ikaw yung kumakampanya na sumama tayo sa International Criminal Court. Tapos nung binanatan yung iyong boss, ikaw yung kumampanya para tayo ay umalis. So sino ang hypocrite? Mag-ingat ka. Baka pag bumabanat ka, bumalik sa sarili mo yung banat mo. No? Yan yung at si President Duterte naman, ang sabi, alam nyo, yung intelligence at saka confidential fund ng aking anak, si Inday, ginamit yan sa seminar at saka sa mga field trip para sa ROTC. Naku, Diyos ko po. No? Hindi naman para doon yung confidential fund. No? Bakit mo pinapahamak yung anak mo? No? At saka sobrang mahal naman yung field trip at saka seminar na yan. Saan ginawa yan? Sa Amanpulo? Sa Boracay?
Yun, no? Dapat MOE yata yan pag ganun expenses, di ba? Yung
yeah.
I think he's not even appreciating the distinctions between these two funds. Well, I mean,
yes.
he's not at his sharpest, to be honest about. I mean, goes back to Harry Roque. I mean, the videos I remember of him, the latest one, are yung mga sayaw niya sa harap ni Chavit Singson ba yan? Napanood mo
Oo,
yan?
yung basa yung kanyang
Medyo
salwal sa
naalala
harapan.
kong video. Nakakalimutan ko na yung mga video.
Hindi ko sinabing naihi siya. Sinabi ko lang na basa yung kanyang salwal sa harapan. Wala akong sinasabing naihi siya.
But I'm saying,
No?
once you see that, you cannot unsee that. Okay, yung mga videos na ganito. Now, uh, now going back to this, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you look at Digong, ang basa ko dito is like, I think he sense vulnerability. Interestingly, the other day ka-interview ko lang si Ronald Holmes, no, Ronnie Holmes, and I said, Ronnie Holmes, now be the political analyst, put aside yung Pulse Asia mo. And agree din siya, if the survey were conducted in second half of September, ang kutob din niya, mas malapit yung baksak niya kay BBM. Siguro BBM will go down from 15 to 14, 13. SARA will go to 11, 12. So clearly, Digong saw that, because whatever we want to say about Digong, he has political instincts. He's a consummate politico, no? So he senses vulnerability. He knows when things are not moving in the right direction. So clearly, he's trying to step in. But yun, the question is he doing the right kind of intervention? Parang baka you're just making things worse by coming up with this ridiculous kind of. But I think it's also about Digong, trying to stay relevant and also trying to reassert the whole, ROTC, all of that kind of Dutertology, Duterte ideology kind of thing. No, I think I'm sure there's also an aspect of that, not only about being there for the daughter, but also him reasserting that whole, because kinalimutan na yun, laos na yung ganyan thinking, di ba? Like BBM is a guy. He's more into economics. He's more into so yun din ang basa ko dito what's happening.
Tingin ko totoo yan, Richard. Partly, no? Dahil gusto niyang mas maging relevant, lalo na sa panahong ito. Pero tingin ko yung mas dominant yan ay talaga nagbubuo na sila, ino-organize na nila yung kanilang sarili, not only to defend SARA, no? Dahil the lines have been drawn since Tambaluslos, no? Sinasabi natin na pabilis, pero nandiyan So tingin ko ito ay bahagi na ng pag-organize nila sa kanilang sarili as the new opposition who will engage the government in less than 2 years during the midterm. No? Tingin ko yun yung mas dominant dito sa kanyang first public salvo laban sa pinsa ng presidente, laban sa speaker ng Kongreso. No? At tingin ko it's not lost on everyone na involved na dito ang presidente. Hindi naman pwedeng mangyari yung pagtanggal ng hundreds of millions of intelligence and confidential funds.
Baka
Diba na?
Nakipag-Grand Prix din siya dito with us, so he's busy.
Yes, no? Kahit papaano may nag-report sa kanya. Kahit papaano hindi niya tinanggihan. Hindi niya kinontra. No? Kaya hindi ako magugulat kung bukas makalawa, diretso na sa presidente yung banat. Katulad ng mga rumblings niya sa SMNI before, attacking foreign policy, attacking the drug policy, attacking the 20 pesos kilo of rice, etc. So, ito yung first public na atake niya kay Speaker Martin Romualdez, no? Talagang matindi. Sinasabi niya na bumabaha ang pera sa Kongreso, no? Ibig sabihin, nung kanyang panahon as president, hindi bumabaha yung pera sa Kongreso. Linawin natin, ha? Hindi bumabaha. Kaya, yan yung hypocrisy na tinatawag ni Harriet o Harry Roque, no? Yan yung hypocrisy na yan, no?
Well, I mean, we'll have a separate episode on also speaking of, hypocrisy, speaking of navigating very difficult. Marami tayong pag-usapan. Ibang episode, we'll do it in the next episode. But in this episode, pag-usapan Ronald. So we're seeing news of GMA meeting SARA, meeting the INC leadership. We saw the picture, of course, of Tito Soto with Tigong. I don't want to make too much of the picture between Lenny and Arroyo, but clearly what's happening here, clearly there's alignments, counter alignments also happening now ahead of the 2020 2025. No, what's your read on that, Ronald?
Well, katulad ng pinag-usapan natin sa mga episodes mo, no? Ito na yung reorganization, no? Katulad ng pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, no? Yung picture taking with Tito Soto ay negotiations, hindi pa yan clinch, no? Tingin ko may effort din yung si Speaker Martin Romualdez at si President Bongbong na hatakin itong grupo ni Tito Sotto. Dahil grupo ito Grupo ito ng 5 ex-senators. 4 ex-senators. At saka isang incumbent na patapos yung term, si Lito Lapid. They call themselves the Macho Group. No, parang yung R&R, no? The Macho Group, no? Yan yung grupo nila, no? Kaya hindi ako magtataka kung re-recruitin tayo diyan, no? So, yan si Tito Sotto, Lito Lapid, Gringo Honasan, no? Ping Lacson, Manny Pacquiao, no? Hindi pa diyan kasama si Bong Revilla, no? Pero nakakausap din. So, they're negotiating, tingin ko, as a group. At yan yung picture taking with Arroyo, Digong, and Bongo, no? Pero hindi pa yan clinch. I'm almost sure, no? Pero yan na yung batakan. Yan na yung hatakan going into the midterms, no? Diyan na nagsisimula.
Uy, itong yung ano pa to? Viva Hotman ba to? Yung 5 sinabi mo yun.
Yung alin?
Viva Hotman ba to? Naalala mo dati away ng dalawang grupo, yung mga iba na di ba meron dalawang grupo dati yung mga Viva Hotmen? Tapos yung kabila naman, parang macho din sila. Tapos tawag ng mga tag-macho sa mga Viva Hotmen, mukha kayong callboy. Tapos sabi niya, kayo mukha kayong kargador. Basta may mga ganun na away dati. Nakalimutan ko yung mga names. Nakakatawa yung mga kantsawan nila back in the day, no?
Basta mag-iingat sila dun sa R&R, no? Yung R&R na macho group, no?
Oo. Ronald, I think kailangan natin i-triple R yan. Baka naman si Professor. Baka pwede natin kasama si Randy David na rin in the future, no?
Pwede,
maganda
no?
yan.
Pwede,
Triple
no?
R tayo.
Oo, triple R, no? Tsaka okay yun. Mas matalino sa akin yun. No?
Magaling-galing. I mean, what's up with Bossing Randy, no? I mean, he's not very active on social media from my understanding, no? It would be nice to have him talk to him once in a while.
Partly dahil he's still grieving for the loss of Karina. Partly ay nag-enjoy siya sa kanyang garden. Plantito rin yun katulad ko. At he's 78 going to 79. So medyo slow down na rin siya. At mas introspective siya after a life well spent. So meron din siyang summation, no? Napag-usapan nga namin na gusto niyang bumiyahe dito sa Asia para bisitahin yung kanyang fellow public intellectuals na yung iba ay pumanaw na, yung iba ay matatanda na, yung iba ay may sakit na. So bago sila mawala, gusto niyang bisitahin sila. At sinasama niya ako. Jakarta, no, Japan, no, Malaysia. So it's a journey na gusto niyang gawin. So medyo nag-slow down na siya and becoming more circumspect about a life well spent. Siguro pag tayo ay ganyang edad na rin, baka mag-slow down na rin tayo, no? Siguro ikaw hindi dahil jet setter ka no?
Stem cell na natin. But bago tayo mag-Wikipelo, I just want to end this episode. Are you, I mean, if you are Arroyo or if you are Digong, again, let's put our political strategist hat on. How do you make sure na hindi sablay yung moves mo, na hindi ka pa-relevant pero relevant ka pa rin? Gets mo? Like, how do you pull off that? Because it's not like Digong and Arroyo have no cards to play. They do have cards. Sila networks. Digong still has the popularity. How do you make sure na, kasi both of them overreach, right? I think that's the story of the year. Both Arroyo overreach. And I think it's also because they both underestimated Marcos Jr., which many people did, and I don't blame them for that. But I think they should learn some lessons from their overreaching early on. Of course, we're not here to help them, but what would have been the more reasonable way for them? Yeah, but we're fair. We're fair. We're political strategists. So what would have been the reasonable way for Arroyo to approach?
If I were them, no, the minimum that they can do is that to survive the interregnum, to survive the midterm, because the midterm very powerful incumbent. So wag silang mangarap na sila yung magiging dominant dito. Yung kanilang pangarap is to survive, no? Magsimulang bumangga, magsimulang to provide the alternative, no? But ang kanilang strategy should be post midterm. Kung saan sana from their vantage point ma-maintain ni Sara yung kanyang lead, no, going into 2028. Then magbabago yung configuration ng incumbent dahil yung mga supportive sa incumbent during the midterms ay magsisimula ng lumawag at magsisimula ng mag-negotiate sa kanila, di ba? So ang mahalaga is mag-survive sila, hindi sila maging insignificant, as you said, no? And kahit papaano, medyo pa-jab-jab, no? Pa-jab-jab. Yung shadow boxing na ginagawa mo, mukhang hindi mo ginagawa ngayon dahil pagod ka no? So ganun, no? Survive, form their coalition, and prepare for post-midterm na magbabago yung alignment at saka realignment possibly in their favor kung hindi mawasak si Sara.
So yung war of positioning nila, medyo nag-maneuver sila ng prematurely. So now they have to recalibrate. Siguro they can learn a thing or two from opposition during Digong's time, right? Who tried to just survive and find a second wind, no? And some of them have found, which will be our next episode, right? Because I want to talk about two individuals who are still associated with the Liberal Party. One of them is still a member of Liberal Party. One is Stella Kimbo, of course. And the other one is Mar Rojas. Both of them are very similar, right? Bright people, technocratic people, but also very bashed people, right? Because they have been trying to navigate a very impossible and difficult situation. Thank you very much, Robin. Ron, for joining us. Nakabawi ako.
Gumaganti ka. Pero ikaw naman, wala ka pang Alzheimer's. Bata ka pa eh. Ako na, senior na eh.
Mabawi ako sa'yo. Nakadalawang Christian ka na sa akin. Thank you very much for that, Secretary Llamas.